God Almighty, I'm back, hell and hearty. 2 days ago, the director of State Security Service in Anambra State sent me a text message that he would like to speak with me. I called him and he said he wanted to see me, so I told him I would see him yesterday, being Thursday. I was busy trying to round up the rest of my campaigns. Yesterday in the morning, he sent me an early text message again that was waiting for me at the office about 7 a.m. So I noticed that it wasn't normal anymore. So I called him back and said, what's going on? Because I'm going to Enugu for the Court of Appeal ruling on Uche Ekwunifer's application for setting aside the earlier judgment. So he said my lawyers can deal with that. So now he knew that he was looking for me for something serious. I said, I'm coming by 10 o'clock. About 10:30, I got to the office. When I got there, he said there was a directive that I should be brought to Abuja, an invitation from headquarters of the state service. I said, okay. What was the problem? He said he didn't know that if I get there, I'll be told. So I requested for them to allow my driver to go and get my medication, daily medication, from my wife at home. And after consultation, they agreed. My driver went back, they called my driver, he went back and got my bag of daily drugs. When he came back, he said, let's go. And that was it. So when I got there, I saw vans waiting with fierce-looking operatives. I was asked to enter one of the vans. I sat at the center, sandwiched by fierce-looking men with another van carrying, you know how they move. So I said, let's go to the airport and board the flight. He said, no, we are going by road. So they drove me to Abuja. I arrived at Abuja around 7:15 p.m. with them. And I was taken to where to wait until they were ready to attend to me. I was waiting. Finally, around 10 p.m., the head of investigation and interrogation called me in and read out to me allegations against me. Things they said I was saying at all my rallies in the past 3 days and the week before. You know, very terrible things I was saying against the government, the president, you know, and things that bordered on threat to national security. So in fact, I laughed after I listened to those allegations. I said, because it's not a laughing matter. I said, these are serious allegations, quite all right. But coming from me, it's not me, it must be another person. You know, after grilling me for a long time, the interrogator asked me, are you not Victor Ume? I said, I'm Victor Ume. So that's said, is it a case of a van and a vans? You know, I laughed again. I said, these things cannot come from me. If you have them on record, you play it, I don't need to be denied. I didn't say any of these things. If you go back, you'll find out I didn't say any of these. And that things I can never ordinarily say. There's no reason for that. You should know that I've been a national figure in this country. I know sensitive things that I need to do. You know, and those issues were not things that will make my people vote for me to go to the Senate. So they ought not to be campaign issues. You know. So after, I was taken to the office of the Director of Operations. He repeated this exercise, and around 11:30, I was taken before the DG SSS. And first of all, he welcomed me very well, and then he read out those things again. And I said, not me. These things are from politicians, my opponents. It couldn't have come from your operatives in the field. The operatives cannot send such very serious, weighty allegations against me. Things that are treasonable. So it was a plot to incarcerate me by my political opponents that are frustrated. You know, of course, by then my governor had called and spoken with him. before I came before him. We reviewed the allegations again, and I preferred the explanations which made no sense of the allegations. Somebody who was contesting to go to the Senate will not be saying certain things, because I'm not running for the presidency of Nigeria. He was very satisfied with my explanation, and of course, on the intervention of my governor also told him that I will never say those things. You know how our governor behaves, doesn't hide anything. When those things were read to him, the governor said, Chief Ume will never say those things. He will never. And gave him some assurance before I came before him. So when I said I didn't say those things, we came to a final conclusion that those things were very doubtful, that I said them. And on that note, around 12 midnight, they were very courteous to me and asked me about any difficulties I may have if I'm released around that 12 midnight. I said, I have nothing on me, no money, nothing. But if they can take me to the hotel I used to stay when I come to Abuja, I will be fine. So one of the operatives, in fact, the man who interrogated me, took me in his car to the hotel and waved me goodbye. So I thank God I'm back. I am very happy to be back and received by this tumultuous crowd, party supporters and non-party members. I've seen a lot of friends who have come here to receive me. I want to assure you that I am a Nigerian patriot. I want Nigeria to be run very well for the good of all. I have no reason to be part of any action that will bring Nigeria down. So never in my, all of you, you've been campaigning with me. You knew my campaign messages. I don't need to say the things they wrote that I was saying. There was no need for that again. Since the Department of State Security Service through the DG has come to the conclusion that those things really did not make sense, and allowed me to go. So I'm very grateful, and the plots of my opponents that I will be incarcerated so that they will take over the mandate waiting for me. From my they have failed again. Yesterday in the morning, the Court of Appeal sitting in Enugu here, 5 justices of the Court of Appeal in Enugu yesterday dismissed another application by Uche Ekwuibe to set aside the judgment and nullify her election. Unanimous decision, 5 of them. So that is now clear that all those plots have come to naught. So I thank my people. Everybody should remain calm, because as soon as I came out last night and I was able to get somebody's phone to call, I heard that the place was tensed up, Anambra State. That today you'll be planning demonstration, all kinds of things. I said, please don't do anything. That I'm out and safe, and that I'm very happy with the treatment I received from the DGSS and the subordinates, including the director. I thank them for being patient to listen to me and also to agree that I didn't do any of such things. So there is hope for the country still. There is opportunity for you to be heard before you are crucified, and that was what they extended to me. Let me assure you that the election will still take place, and that election we are still going to win. And when I get to the Senate, my message is very simple. I will do everything to get the entitlements of people I'm going to represent. First of all, the people of Anambra Central Senatorial Zone. Then secondly, at the Senate, I will be part of all processes that will lead to building a very, very stronger nation. That's what I want. That's my mission, and I want a Nigeria that will be run on the basis of equity and fairness for everybody. So I'm not championing division. So those who concocted the falsehood to embarrass me, they have not embarrassed themselves. They have returned gloriously. I'm very delighted with my in my favor. I didn't need to start saying those things. The issue of IPOB and MASSOB wasn't even in that context. It was that at the Senate, mobilize coalition for the Republic of Biafra. You know, and when they look at it, it really makes sense. Because it's not that the Senate that something will take place. So there are other things I don't need to go into. As whether I was handcuffed, I was not handcuffed. I was not handcuffed. I was put in the car under firm tight security. You know, I was sandwiched. You know, and I was from there to Abuja. It was very peaceful. There was no problem between me and those who came and took me away. You know, I didn't have money with me, no kobo, no phone, and when we were going, if I needed water, they would stop and buy me water. At the time, I said I needed tom-tom. They stopped and bought me tom-tom. You know, so they helped me very well, and I'm very happy with the way the DSSS received me. They told me that they were looking up to me as a very great Nigerian, an important leader in society, and that's why when such thing came and they said it came from me, they became worried that if I said those things were capable of inciting people to cause breach of public peace. So I said I'm happy that they recognize that my people listening to me. You know, so I don't need to do any of those things to win election. That was what I emphasized. My people are solidly behind me. I don't need to do anything like that to be able to win an election. Yes.
You can address the crowd. The last I think of it is number 49.